one. Good evening, and welcome to the Woman to Woman show on the New You Nation Network. We are back again Monday, November 24th. Can you believe it is November 24th? We are back yet again for another episode of the Woman to Woman show. And before we get started, we're going to go around as we normally do and introduce ourselves and say what we are grateful for. So I will start off by saying I am Theodora Carter. I am a certified life career coach and HR consultant. Owner of T. Carter Coaching and Consultant, and I am passionate about helping women live with courage, intention, and clarity. And I am grateful for another Monday, but I'm grateful like this weekend. I literally had the opportunity, along with some of my church friends, to give out 400 turkeys and food boxes to individuals in need. And so it was truly a rewarding experience. So I am grateful just to have opportunities like that to do something that I'm passionate about, which is to serve other people. And I will toss the mic to Regina.
Good evening. My name is Regina Booker. I'm the owner of Season and Fabulous, where women 50 plus, as they hit that pretty pivotal age, where they explore their dreams, passions, desires, whatever they want to do. It's never too late to get you there or to explore what it is that you need. I am grateful for just, I guess, life in general, just to, as the anybody say, just to be above ground. I'm just grateful.
Yes. We can all co-sign that.
Hi, y'all. I am Regina Howard Norman of Regina's Baking Academy and Origin Unlimited. I like to say one of my things to do is I like to cook a little food and also share the joy and the ease of getting in your kitchen and doing something with your two hands. And I also love encouraging and empowering youth to let them know that they can break limits and build futures with their mind and creativity. What I'm grateful about today is it's a few things, but I'm grateful that last week we had a major event at my job, and we usually do holiday uh, dinner for our group that we serve for supportive housing, and they really received it well, and all the work that we put into making it happen. Um, we saw, you don't do it for the thank you, but you do it because you want people to come together and kind of enjoy. I like to say food is the bridge, and the fact that they were able to come and sit down or appreciate what all of our efforts were, I'm thankful for that. I mean, I was dog tired afterwards, but it was worth the effort. And everyone that helped was just the team. My coworkers are amazing, so it's good to have a team when you're doing something to help other people because you can't do it by yourself. So our
Mm-hmm.
my co-workers are grateful that we work well together and that we did it in service of the people that we work for. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Amen.
Amen. And if you join in now, if you join later, drop in the comments what you're grateful for. So let's get rolling with our topic tonight. The topic is the table looks different now. And I will honestly say I chose this topic because of the upcoming Thanksgiving season, but there are so many other ways that we could probably unpack this topic, right? Because I know for me, I feel like every day I think about how just I move differently, right? I think differently, right? And so when you ladies hear that the table looks different now, what comes to mind for you?
Okay, I'm gonna jump on in. When I saw what the title was this evening, you know, I guess to the naked eye, you say table, you thinking food, holiday, what kind of fixes and stuff. But what I took it as, because we're always, we're thinking on how we grow and changed and moved and evolved. I started thinking about where we are right now as far as the decisions we've made, right? And so when I think about how the table looks now versus how it looked before, I was thinking more around my attitude or my
Mm-hmm.
sense of autonomy and responsibility and even interdependence. So,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that came to my mind is, well, I realized that wherever I am right now in my life as an adult, it is a combination of all the decisions and choices I've made. So there is no one to point a finger at. I can't bring Pookie in them or auntie or uncle or grandma or pop pop. Everything that I've done as an adult, the choices that I've made, my table, as far as my life and my choices have been my decisions. So the table that I used to look at was from a table of, I'm going through these challenges. If it wasn't for this person or that person doing this thing or not doing that thing, my outcome would have been a little different.
Mm.
And now I'm like, hold the phone, pause that behavior, because there's no victory in there, and there's no ability to take charge of your own self if you always pointing the finger at what you think someone should not have done.
Mm.
And one day I was in here and I was looking around and I was like, wow, I need to do some more. I feel like I want to stretch out and get bigger space. And I had to say, well, Regina, why are you, why are you where you are? What's up with that?
Mm.
And I had to say, oh, Regina, own your stuff. Today,
Mm.
my table looks different because I'm owning my stuff. I have forgiven people of what I thought they did or didn't do. And I'm learning to, and I also had to forgive myself. So now my table looks like it could be anything I needed to look like if I willing to put in the work, put in the effort, put in the consistency, create a real plan. My table can look like how I want it to look if I'm willing to do the work it takes to make it to look that way. And before I even think about restructuring my table, take it up to God first. Say, this is what I'm thinking about. This is what I want, but is this what you want for me?
Mm.
If it's not, I submit to your will. Help me to do what you got me here to do. And that's
Wow.
where I am now.
I love it because honestly, I just had that conversation with one of my friends last week, and I was like, you know, when I went through my healing journey, right? I think one of the most important things about the way I did it that
Mm-hmm.
that time, which made the outcome different, was I literally was like, this is about nobody but you,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is about you being accountable to, like you said,
Yes.
right? We I could go sit up here and talk about woe is me and so did this and so did that, but at the end of the day, I had to acknowledge what happened, and then I had to move past it and say, okay, this healing journey is about you. It's about what decisions you made, what
Mm-hmm.
choices you made, what you chose to ignore, what you chose to see. What like one of the biggest lessons I learned is, we all that the buzzword of communication, right? How we all talk about communication is key.
Mm-hmm.
right? I think one of the biggest things I learned is when we say communication, let's define what that looks like, because people don't realize that when you're communicating with someone, no response is a response.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we often, some of us, well, I'm gonna talk for myself. Let me not talk for anybody else. I know there were times where I took that with no response and turned it into the response that I wanted, right?
Mhm.
Which made it fit my whatever my agenda.
Okay.
And then when it didn't work out, I was annoyed, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit perturbed at the person, but then I'm like, wait a minute. That person never led you, never told you
Right.
that's what they were feeling, or that's what they,
Mhm.
you took them not responding to the statement you made or the question you asked to mean that they were in agreement, right,
Mm-hmm.
with how you were feeling, how you was moving, how you was doing whatever. And so I think it's so funny that you mentioned, right, just that
Yeah.
whole part of taking that accountability, right?
Yeah.
What
Because
say you, Gina?
Well, the tables look different for me because I no longer try to fix it.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
run around trying to fix everybody or fix this problem or insert myself in
mhm,
places where I don't have to be inserted, or which is along with fixing it or
mhm,
the pleasing people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the fix it person. Because you can only
mm,
fix yourself and you can't fix nobody else or fix the problem that they have. And so once you let go of that, it's it is what it is.
Yeah.
it's it I mean, and
And
that's kind
that's
of
and
like
that's and that's a big that was a big because that's part of trying to please everybody and make everybody happy and make everything work. And in the meantime, you're killing yourself
Right.
trying to fix everybody else, and nobody's worrying about you while you running around trying to fix them or make them happy. And I
yeah,
don't mean like just fix, but
mm,
make it work, make it
yeah,
whatever is not wrong. Well, okay, that didn't help. Well, let me see if I can help you. No, nobody coming to help you. So
Yeah.
once you, and that's part of taking care of yourself.
mm-hmm.
Right.
So once I start, that's what a table looks different for me. That's like one of the major things that you know.
But I love that because it's kind of like Gina said, right? It's that whole shift in your mindset of
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
how you gonna move, how you gonna tolerate, what you gonna
mm-hmm,
tolerate, right?
Right.
mm-hmm,
I mean, and sometimes it's like, maybe I need to chop some of the legs off the off the table, right?
mm-hmm,
Like maybe the table needs to look differently because it needs to tilt a little and slide some stuff off, right? So, I think it's funny because as we evolve, right? As we At least for me, as I evolve, like just the way I think about stuff and see stuff
Mm-hmm.
is like literally different.
Yeah.
Like really, like when it comes to, I was just telling my aunt today, like she called me to ask me a question and we talking and she was like, how you doing? And I was like, I'm good. I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm alive, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I just try to remind myself when my mind starts shifting in that other direction to be grateful, right?
Yeah.
For what I have. Like literally, this I think in the past 2 weeks, I've had activities, volunteer activities where it involved um packing boxes of food for individuals, right? Or giving away, like I said, the turkeys and the food, right? For other people. And it just really makes you think about how much stuff we take for granted,
mm-hmm,
right?
Yeah.
I think about how sometimes I have stuff in my refrigerator that I let go bad and it go in the garbage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
mm-hmm,
and and when I was packing food a couple of weeks ago, and I just want people to hear this, right? The food that we pack is mostly processed food.
Mm-hmm.
right? It's mostly cans and bags because life, the shelf life is important, right? When you're giving this food away.
Right.
And so we have the benefit of going into a grocery store and going to the produce aisle and buying fresh fruit, right? We don't have to get cans of peaches, right? If we don't want to.
Right.
Some people don't have that luxury, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, although it was really rewarding to be able to pack boxes of food, a little bit for me was bittersweet, right?
Okay.
Because I was like, these are individuals that we're giving them this food and they're going to be so grateful for it. And I'm thankful that I'm able to do it. But I'm recognizing that the food that we're giving them is full of sugar and sodium and all of that to make the life shelf, right, longer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think for me, as I get older, I've always been one that has a heart to serve, right, and whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I think as I get older and in this current climate, I'm more in tune to it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? Like,
It's, when I think about, you talked about the shelf life and how sometimes the things that had to shift for me was how long was I going to let someone's negative opinion of me
mm,
be in my shelf, be
Mm.
in my pantry. How long was I going to allow, you know, their thoughts to hold room in my mind and in my space? And so I've learned how to come up with a process to vet it out, to vent in a proactive way, and to release it, right?
mm,
So that my table isn't crowded with so many opinions of other people that don't really matter to me. And it's also teaching me I'm continually learning how to be strong, and my bounce back is quicker than it used to be. I don't ruminate so much on another person's thought, especially if they haven't directly said it to me, but that third party information and all of that. So I'm like, well, a lot of things go through my mind when when I'm processing what to let go and what won't have shelf life in my space, right?
Mm-hmm.
but let's unpack that, right? Let's,
Yeah.
because I love it, right? I love,
Mm-hmm.
because when I said it, right, I was hoping like somebody pick up, right? Like that shelf life means something. Meaning, what are some of the things that we've had to rearrange on our shelves, take off of our shelves, right? To allow us to move in a direction that is gonna be aligned with where we want to go.
Well, it's funny you said that because the chapter I did with the anthology with my dear friend and a few of us, my chapter was about restocking my pantry.
Mm.
And so what I had to realize is part of what I'm saying now is there was some things I had to let go. I had to let go of past experiences that were not what I thought weren't good, were painful, things that happened in the past that I was allowing to impact how I moved at that time, and realizing what I had to bring in, right? So I had to bring in um, therapy. I had to bring in getting a life coach. I had to bring in learning how to speak up more. I had to bring in remembering the good stuff that I did, along with the challenges and some of the mistakes I made, and realizing that all of that is a part of who I am. And so, what I've learned how to do now is not that people matter, yes, but not to the point where I'm so focused on thinking about how you feel and stuff that I'm not focused on what I need to do.
Mm.
Because see, I know that I'm here on assignment. And in order to do what I'm supposed to do, I have to be intentional, focused, disciplined, looking at the plan, and being in communication with God. And if I'm so worried about what I used to do, if I'm looking at the back of my shoulder, they tell you you're supposed to watch your back. Y'all hear that say, you better
Mm.
watch your back, watch your back. Why am I watching my back? I can't see what's in front of me. I got two set of eyes. You know, I got these and I got these. But these don't help me watch my back and the front. So I had to make a conscious decision to say, listen, I've already had the periphery experience of knowing what's behind me. I paid attention to my surroundings. So what I need to do spiritually and intellectually is start looking for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And that means I have to address where I am right now. So if I'm not happy with my situation, or it's something simple as saying, you know what, I want a new throw. I want to get a new throw because I like the one I got, but and
Mm-hmm.
not that I'm buying stuff all the time, but you know, I just want to mix it up so then I have a little diversity. Well, instead of just sitting here saying I want a throw, or I want a something else to put on the window or whatever. Well, Regina, get up. Don't be late for work, and you can say that same $25. You can use to buy your throw. So it's like the decisions we make. What am I holding on to? What do I need to let go? I have a nice sized cabinet in the kitchen, but I don't want to hold stuff in there I'm not using. So every so often I go in there and look. I said, "Am I really using?" I love cream of wheat, but why am I? I don't got kids anymore. My children ain't here, so I'm not eating cream of wheat. If anything, I need space for my grits because I'm a grit girl. City boy of country raised, y'all, so I'm a grit girl. Okay, so there's some things that I need to let go. So every
Mm-hmm.
once in a while, I'll check my spices, make sure they didn't expire. Some stuff you just gotta let go. Emotionally, there's some stuff we gotta let go, and guess what? Sometimes we have to remind ourselves because just because we made a decision to change it up, to do a new thing, it doesn't mean that those thoughts and stuff don't come back.
Yeah.
But when you create opportunities for yourself to grow, when you create uh, community, you create support around you, that you can help yourself easier when those thoughts come. You say, not today. I don't got time for that. And you can move forward faster, right? So,
Yeah. I mean, but I think it's important, and Regina, you could would probably speak to this because remember when you were going through your decluttering
Mhm.
thing, right? And it just makes me think about how, I mean, it's for me. It started with Dr. DC Marshall, right? When she used to have us do
yes, yes,
annual
yes,
decluttering thing, and it really made me think about like, okay, girl, why you got like 15 sheet sets in your closet, right? But you're probably using the same two all the time, right? So like you said, it really makes you think about, but you know what was eye-opening for me? COVID.
mm,
Now, whereas one of my girlfriends continued to shop during COVID, like having having ordering online, she'd be like, "Oh, I'm in Florida, and I'm gonna have stuff shipped to your house, so I don't have to pay the tax." Because in Jersey at the time, because in Jersey we didn't pay tax on clothes, so she was having her stuff shipped to me in Jersey. So when she came back from Florida, she could come get it, right? But I realized for me in COVID, I literally was not shopping,
yeah,
right? Like the most I was doing was like maybe going out to buy, to get food. But as
right,
far as like clothes and shoes and stuff like that, I was like, hmm. So why is it when I was going to work, and I was leaving the house that I felt like I needed to buy new stuff when nothing changed in your closet, right?
right,
It's the same, and now you don't have to go nowhere. So it's just amazing how we talk about like for instance the chapter you wrote was restocking my pantry, right?
yeah. Restock your pantry, yeah,
There's so many things that we say and don't realize how applicable that is to our lives,
absolutely,
Mhm.
right?
yeah,
Because I literally and I'm just gonna say this, I am not the girl that believes in you forgive and you forget. And I know people do. I know there's 10,000 people out here that will debate me, who will say if you don't forget, it's not really forgiveness, right? But for me, I'm not saying I'm not forgetting because I'm holding on to it and I'm latching on to it. I'm saying that it's the recesses of my mind. It's a lesson, right? And
Right.
so I forgive, but I'm not going to forget because that lesson is a reminder of something that I'm not going to allow to happen again because I have the
The
lesson,
experience, right?
right? The experience, right?
Hmm.
And so I think we have to also get to the point of recognizing how some of our experiences, while we don't need to hold on to them and they don't need to take life and they don't need to hold us hostage, but some of those experiences we do need to remember or recall at times because, and I'm gonna talk to the person that, and it's been me, right? The person that you get yourself to the point you're debt free, right? But then over the years, right, you start accumulating, right? If you don't keep in mind what you were doing, right, budgeting, being careful of your spending, right? Asking yourself, do I need this or do I want it, right? You
Right.
could find yourself back in a situation that you were in before because you neglected to recall how you got in that situation before. Because it's like you said when you started, right? The decisions and choices we
Yes.
make along the way sometimes results in a place that we really are like, man, how did I get here?
Right.
Girl, you know how you got here.
Right.
Mhm.
You
Exactly.
just don't want to acknowledge how you got here. Right. And so I think it is important to realize, right? At what point do I need to rearrange my table? Right?
Hmm.
Well, you're constantly rearranging your table, or at least I am. Um, I mean, not necessarily every day, but as situation changes, times changes, season changes, you're constantly rearranging.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a revolving door. Um, due to the situation, you're changing. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean,
So you just have to adjust.
think about the people who change their table. Like you might change your whether it was little placemat things and all of that,
Hmm.
right? Seasonally. Because
Hmm.
right now, you walk into somebody's house right now, probably everything in their house is Christmas stuff, right? Christmas, what do you call them things? Dry hand towel thing, the
Hmm.
things you dry your dishes with, right? Little placemat. So, like you said, sometimes it's seasonal, right?
Hmm.
When you're changing your table. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to recognize and when it's sometimes it's maybe I need a new table.
Sometimes it's lifestyle.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
When you think about changing, the table looks different when you start taking a look at your health. Some people consider themselves, pretty healthy. But as we get older, I don't think our body starts breaking down as much as we don't do some of the things we used to do when we were considered ourselves in our prime, right?
Hmm.
And so, what that looks like for me would be, well, some of the heavier, richer dishes that I used to fix, I may not do that as often. Well, I don't because why? Because I'm looking at my health now.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I'm realizing having too much of this thing on a regular basis is impacting my quality of life. It
Mhm.
it could potentially turn into the things that I do not have. It could turn into pre-diabetes or
Mhm.
high blood pressure or hypertension. So there's certain things that I won't eat because I know it impacts my health, right?
Mhm.
So I want
Hmm.
to have not only longevity, if the Lord so permits, but the quality of the years are equally important to me. So my table may look different on the outside. It's like, oh, you fixing something different. It's not just because I'm trying a new dish as much as my lifestyle. I'm doing
Mhm.
things as a lifestyle, not as a fad or a phase, right?
Mhm.
And so it's important that we we mind to take ourselves first, to put ourselves first, even around, let's say, the holiday season or family gatherings. People are used to you doing certain things, and you get to say to them, well, I'm introducing some different things because I realize that I need to do a new thing with my health. I need to take charge of my the way I am. So no, I'm not making 2 pans of fried chicken because
Mhm.
that's not going to help
Mhm.
me, right? I may make a pan or a half a pan, but I'm gonna make some baked chicken or maybe some
Mhm.
barbecue. But I'm gonna do it different because this is my health, my life. So I'm gonna fix it nice. It's gonna taste yummy and delicious, but it has to be different for me because I'm not doing
Mhm.
what I used to do 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. I
So
mean, it has to be in moderation.
yeah,
It's
Mhm.
like it's like the other day I went. After we did our volunteering, we went to get something to eat because we was out there early. And I honestly was like, for the most part, I eat healthy, but I was like, listen, they was like, you want a salmon patty? You want it fried or grilled? I was like, in all of my life, I've never heard of a grilled salmon patty. So, and I'm sure they exist, but that just didn't sound
right.
plausible to me, right? So I'm like, it's not like I'm eating fried food every day. So you know what? Yeah, no, make it fried, right? But I think it's sometimes also when you're looking at your table and you're looking at rearranging it and you're looking at, um, what it is that you need to sustain yourself is striking a balance,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's one of the things that I have learned along the way as I've gotten older is I don't always have to be going, 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 right? It's
Mhm.
important for me to recognize when to slow down, when to rest, when to take time for myself, right? Um, it it I think for me being intentional about peace,
Mhm.
I like
right?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recognizing the things that, and I'm not going to even say the things that disturb my peace, recognizing the things that I allow to disturb my peace.
Right.
Because just taking it back to the very beginning is like the choices and decisions we make, right?
Mhm.
Something's going to pop off every day, right?
Right.
That has the potential to disturb your peace.
Hmm.
How you respond to stuff is really up to you, and that's one of the other biggest lessons I've learned. And I learned this a long time ago from one of my mentors. Right? It's like you can't control other people, but you can control how you respond to it.
That's right.
Mhm.
Right? And I mean, Regina, I'm gonna come back to you because I feel like what, I don't even. It's probably been 2 years now. I don't even know, but just the way you responded to Wells Fargo, right? Like to me, I was like, okay, listen, like, all right, listen. You were like, okay, yep, this happened, yep, okay, yep, okay, I'm going to, okay. I was like, all right. And I'm not saying that it didn't phase you. I'm not saying that it didn't make you pause for a second. But I think the main thing for me, the lesson I learned from you is yes, you will pause, but what are you doing in that period of pausing? Because I feel like in that period when you paused, you were intentional about what happened next.
So what happened next, Regina? Tell us.
Well, just something. I mean, I traveled. I got serious about my business. I just took care of me. I didn't do this woe is me. I didn't cry. I didn't curdle up. I didn't. I just kept on living. Didn't I didn't let that define me.
Okay.
And I continued to bloom. I found another. I didn't think it was going to be well, I'm not going to say it's a career, but maybe it is. But I found another thing with the kids that I loved that I didn't know I liked. I didn't know I liked attending these kids. Um,
You found a passion.
Passion. Yeah, that's what I was trying to find the word. Yeah,
Mhm.
passion for these artistic kids that I had no, because you would told me I'd have been with some kids. I'm like, kids, other than my own.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
But I think for me, I think what was amazing is, and you could tell me if I'm wrong or not, right? I feel like that Regina at that time, right, moved differently than the Regina that might have been like 20 years before that, or
Oh yeah, most
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And I even each day is something different coming off of me. Like I'm getting older and wiser, and
Mm-hmm.
I choose to tell people, and I don't use older as a as I'm getting, oh, I can't do it. It's older with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer doing this. And I
Right.
keep telling people that I do things, I'm no longer doing this.
Mm.
Right.
They say,
Right.
well, because I don't want to, because I'm older and I'm listening to my body. And my body is telling me that you can't do this anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
And it's not, it's what I want to do, but the wisdom is telling me if you want to live longer, you got to take it easy. You can't do the things that you used to do. Yes, you need to work out, you need to, but you do it in moderation, and
Right.
you don't rip and run like I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's funny you said I used to have, I love shopping, I love clothes. That was my first career, fashion merchandising. So I love to dress. Now I dread, do I have to go to the store and get something? Like, can I find it online?
Mm-hmm.
If I have to go into a store now, I'm like, dang, is there another way? And I was talking to a friend of mine who I call my daughter. We grew up. Well, I have three girls I took on as work
Mm-hmm.
daughters, and one of them we definitely into all the fashion, the designer purses and stuff. We were just talking, and we just cannot. Like we both think about how we don't like that anymore.
Yeah.
Not the shopping, and that's a change that I thought, and I still don't get me wrong, I still like to dress when I go out, but just to
Mm-hmm.
go look for it and that,
Yeah.
like after work, I would have loved. I used to just go, even if I didn't buy anything. Oh, let me go to the mall to see. No, I come straight home. Um, if I have to go to the grocery store, I'll be mad.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. You just made me feel so much better. Because I swear to God, like, just I have to mentally prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went about last week. There's no lie. I had really no food when you're down to the bare, and I had no food by choice because I just refused to go. I was in there scraping. I said, "You could put something. We could put some." I was putting all kind of stuff together to the point. I told one of the coworkers, I said, I don't feel good. I said, and I didn't know, but you know what? Sometimes when you talk to people, it
Mm,
inspired them. So I had inspired her to eat better. Because I said,
mm,
"Oh my God, I have no food. I just have trash in my house. I just have trash." And I was just speaking. And she
yeah,
said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I just have so much trash." I said, "I just don't even know." I said, "I gotta go to the grocery store. I gotta go to the grocery store." But I said, "It's just trash." And she said, "Wait." And I was telling her all the stuff I had. And I said, "I do have enough salad, so I have enough salad to bring every day. But I just when I get home, I have nothing else." Blah blah blah.
yeah,
And then I happened to look at what she was eating, and I didn't know I really said it out loud, but
yeah.
I guess I did because she told me I did. I looked at her Chick-fil-A. I said, "That's trash, right?" So, and she brings salads every day now. She tells me I inspire her to bring. So every time we're in the break room, she's like, "Don't look at my food."
But it's true because you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's true.
That was
Like,
just a week I just could not go to the grocery store, and I was just scrounging up stuff. I mean, stuff that I didn't really eat it. My grandson, he likes Chef Boyardee's, whatever
mm,
that stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The rack, what is it? What that stuff that's in the can is bad for you, whatever it is. I
Oh,
picked that up, but I couldn't eat it. I was like, oh no, I can't. That's what ravioli. That's what. I was, and
but you
so,
know what's so crazy is I'm like you just made me feel so much better because I swear like going to the supermarket to me is like, oh my God, this is such a chore.
mhm.
And what's crazy is
And I used
uh,
to love going to the grocery store too. I used to when I
yeah,
lived in Jersey, Shop Right was my joint. I'd be like, oh, I can't wait. I used to go
right.
2 or 3 times a
And I'm
week.
like, I wonder if it's because like I used to love ShopRite.
Yep.
And
Like,
for me, the shop right by me in Jersey, it was 24 hours. So
mhm,
I would be like going there like 12 a.m., 1 o'clock, right? Because now I'm like, I'm going when one, there's really nobody there and they're stocking the shelves with fresh stuff,
mhm,
right? But now that they opened a new Publix by me, I feel like I'll run over there. I'm like, oh, let me just run over there real quick and get something. Because also for me, I gotta go to Trader Joe's for a certain thing. And then I gotta go
mhm.
to this store for a certain thing. And I gotta go this. And by the time I'm done, I'm like, I'm tired of this. But it's important to make sure I get stuff that is going to satisfy me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah,
but that's a change. So, but I do not honestly. I will not. What do you call that? Instacart. I I just have to get my own stuff. I'm not gonna.
yeah. I was just talking to my neighbor about that. I was like, I tried Instacart like maybe during COVID, because my nutritionist, um, she recommended it. And
Mhm.
I was like, if I'm not having them get vegetables and fruit for me, I'm good. But I don't like the way they pick out my fruit. I don't like the way they
Right.
pick out my vegetables,
Because
right?
they're not concerned. They're just grabbing it. Because
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting there trying. Oh, do they want? Because you're trying to get to the next order.
Right.
You're making money. You're not.
Yeah, it's so true. But if you're just joining us, welcome to the Women to Women show on the New You Nation Network. We're talking about the table looks different now, and we're just talking about how different things have changed in our life, whether it's mindset, how we handle things emotionally, how we handle things physically, how we shifted and how we engage with people.
Mm-hmm.
I've owned in our boundaries, being intentional, I'm the intention queen. And I will honestly say, I know I say it a lot, but I literally feel the difference in my day when I'm not moving intentionally.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I just get up and be like, oh, da, 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 right? But when I'm like intentional about what it is I need to do and how I need to complete it and all of that, like I just have a whole different mindset.
Yes.
And one of the things I'm intentional about is starting my day sitting quietly talking to the man above, because
Mm-hmm.
it truly makes a difference. If I start my day without that,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I could easily be like set off.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like Pookie could easily come up.
I
Yeah.
hear that. I hear that.
Pookie gonna come out for Thanksgiving, right?
Oh
That
my goodness. I think
family member that's gonna come out and
I
work your
tell you.
nerves. But
but I think that's another thing for me that has changed is I don't like I think and not that I don't enjoy spending time with family and friends or whatever, but I don't, it's not in a way where before I felt like, oh my God, I have to, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's even with me going up north, right? There are people that I'm intentionally gonna see, right? Because I'm going up there to see my aunts, and one, I'm surprised inside. I was so happy today when I talked to her, I didn't let it slip that I was going to be up there. But and she won't see this, so it don't matter.
I was gonna
But
say
Right. I'm
yeah,
not.
she won't,
Well,
no, she won't see this.
okay.
But the other side of it is, I remember, I think it was a couple of years ago where I just was like, I don't want to go nowhere. And people was like, oh, you can't stay home alone. And I was like, but why not?
Hmm.
Right? Because as I get older, I'm like, the day off is a day for rest and relaxation.
Yeah.
And you know what I would love to do? I would sit on my couch and watch what?
Oh,
Christmas movie.
romantic. What's that? Your
Chris,
Lifetime
my
Mm-hmm.
Christmas
Christmas Lifetime
movies.
movies.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like I just, oh my God. I I was just telling somebody, one of my friends at church, I was like, so this is how it happens. This is how it goes down. I watch Christmas movies all year round.
Mm.
But during the year, I'm watching Christmas movies that I've already watched, right? So I've seen them a couple of times. But then when November and December rolls around, what happens? The
You
new
are.
Christmas movies come out. So then I have to have my lineup, right, for the new movies, right?
Mm.
But that's how my table has evolved, because I don't really care what anybody says about me watching Christmas movie all year round and listening to Christmas music. I don't
Right.
care what nobody said about the fact that I've probably seen the Kelly Rowland Christmas movies a billion times, right?
Mm-hmm. It's what makes you happy. That's
But
all.
but that's the thing. I think the thing for me is the table looks different now, because I really am like, yo, this is how I want to spend my day. This is how I'm gonna spend my day. And I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
let anybody else tell me that I need to do it differently.
Hmm.
Right. And so I think that's so important. But the biggest thing for me is, I don't sweat the small stuff. Like, the first question I ask myself is, can I control this?
Mm-hmm.
If I can't control it, all right, that's it.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
and you got to get to that point where you're like, all right, it is what it is. There's nothing I could do about that.
And
Right.
that kind of feeds into um, understanding that when we make decisions, we can only make decisions for ourselves,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and we can't impact what someone else chooses to do. So, whereas before, I don't have the energy to try to change someone's mind. If we're having a conversation, we can have. I believe in a hearty discussion, a hearty debate. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, and it's not necessarily because I'm trying to convince you in my way, but we're sharing our opinions. They're different, and that's not always a bad thing, because you get to hear someone else's point of view about a thing. But one of the ways my table is different is I'm okay with the fact that you may not agree with what I have to say, but I'm going to respect the fact that you have your right to say it, your opinion, your vantage point, and I have mine. So what that looks like for me now is the energy that I would put into trying to help someone see things my way.
Mm-hmm.
I've decreased that tons, because I have to walk the choices or the decisions that I make,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to live it out in everyday life. But me trying to convince you through one conversation is not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily going to get it. And but it also depends on topics and stuff like that. But what I've
Mm-hmm.
realized is that I don't. I'm working on decreasing my time in things that are petty, things that I don't have control over.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, even sometimes information that is not so important, it's more ancillary, but it's like, oh, why you didn't tell me? Well, if they told me, what was I going to do anyway?
Mm-hmm.
right? What could I do about that? Was it
Mm-hmm.
something that I really needed to address or take care of? Probably
Right.
not. So why am I tripping over that, right? So it's really learning how to say you only got control of one thing only, and that's yourself.
Right.
You know.
That, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is you only have control over one thing, and that's yourself. And
Hmm.
also, the decisions that we make need to be based on who we are,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
what we want,
Right.
and not because I'm sure we all have been in that period and space of where the decisions we made were tied to someone else,
Definitely.
right?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, but we're at the top of the hour, and I want to end a little differently today
Okay.
because, you know, Gina, you mentioned your book, the anthology that you did, right? And so as we talk about how, our tables are different, I think our tables look different for a lot of us because in what, 5 years ago for me, probably what, 2 or 3 years ago for you, a year ago for you, what, we all came published authors,
Right.
right? And so Gina, I want you to tell us a little bit about your book, where people can find it. Then Regina, you as well, and yeah. So
Uh,
because I think that is really critical and definitely
well, that's
a
definitely
different look
a
for our
different look.
tables.
Yeah, that's definitely a different look.
Because now in the center of our tables should be our books.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's
you
true.
know, it's funny that you said that because I mean, and plus I do have copies, right? And basically, if anyone wants to get in touch with me in regards to purchasing a book from me, you could reach me at Regina's Baking Academy, or you could DM me at um, Naomi Delights, and I will send you the link to um, be able to purchase the book. It's your time, sis. And what really is beautiful about it is really about women experiencing freedom and overcoming different challenges, and everyone's experience is different. Some may be in similar areas, whether it's dealing with health or weight or overcoming experiences of trauma growing up or in their lives and how they overcame it. So it's not about being stuck in a situation and still being angry about the experience. It's
Mhm.
about how you came through it. What tools did you use? What lessons did you learn?
Mhm.
And what advice did you leave? What nuggets did you provide? And what I love about each of our chapters is that each of us said, okay, these are some of the secret sauce to how I've gotten through some things and how I continue to grow. And these are some tips on how you can use some of the same things that I use to help me. And so what I love about that is that I have 11, including mine, is 11 different tips and tools on how to overcome or how to deal with different life experiences, which are pretty transferable when you look at the how to do something, right? And so I was happy that my dear friend, um, Shaquan, her name is Shaquan Hoke, she was the visionary for the anthology. And she had asked me 3 times actually, and I was like, and she's like, Virginia, stop playing. This time, I want you to do it. I was like, okay. I had something. I had something ready. Before the other 2 times I didn't have anything ready, it wasn't in my head. The Father gave me something. I was like, okay, I
Mhm.
got you. But
Mhm.
so the book is It's Your Time, Sis, and it's never not a time to get the book. It's always a good thing to have
Mhm.
in the share. So like I said, you can reach me at Regina's Baking Academy, or um, you can hit me up on my Facebook and DM me, and I'll send you the link on how to purchase the book. You can keep it as for yourself, give it to a friend. You can put it on your table, like you know. But the thing of what I loved about it and what made it uh, when you do something like that, you're taking a step. You're stepping outside of yourself. You're
You
sharing.
changing your table.
You're not only changing your table, but you're sharing of yourself. Once you put information out there, it's out there. And so
Yep.
sometimes we fear what we think people are going to say because we shared this information. I realized it was such a freeing experience. It was so fulfilling to be able to share and provide someone else with some tools on how to deal with certain experiences. So,
Mhm.
yeah. And the
All right.
other women did
So,
amazing as well.
and you're at Naomi underscore delights on Instagram, right?
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. All right. So Regina, tell us about your book.
My book is When Wisdom Speaks. It's a self-care journey for women 50 and older. However, it really can apply to any woman, but it's that's just a target because basically at that age is when we we wear many hats is that at as women. And so it's 50s when we kind of like powering down. Kids are gone, careers are changing, and it's about that time we need to start taking care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But we really should take care of ourselves before that at all times. So that's what my book's about, and it's really from my experience. I started experiencing different things in my 50s, and I started taking care of myself in my 50s. I started
Mm-hmm.
thinking about myself in my 50s. I started discovering myself in my 50s. So that's what it's about. You can reach out to me at Regina Booker on Facebook, Instagram. It's Season and Fabulous. It's also on, oh man, what's the name of that?
Which
um,
Well, if they go to your Instagram,
mhm.
I think the link to your site
It's in the profile.
is in your
Yeah.
profile.
Well, it might be. Remember my page, my first page
Oh,
I got
it's there.
it's there? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to change all that. My first page, my first
Nope, I'm
my
looking
old
at it right
Facebook
now.
page got
When wisdom
oh it's there.
speaks.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
thought
so
that
if
got
they go
look, I
to
thought that got snatched too. I
yeah,
put
if they go, I'm putting both of your
okay.
your
All right.
Instagrams in
I had to create a whole new Facebook page because of
yeah.
that.
Well, this is your IG, so if they go to your IG,
yes.
Seasons and
But yeah,
Fabulous.
remember, well, it was connected to the first, so I thought
Oh
maybe,
yeah, I remember you had to change it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
nightmare. That's
Hmm.
so rude to people. Like that's just the rudest. And what do you get out of it? Nothing.
Nope. But imagine if they put that much energy into doing something legal, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
you know. And so I will end with I'm at Theodora Carter 428 on IG and Facebook, but my books are Loving You Is Hurting Me. That's my first book. It's an anthology. Six women who wrote about our stories of how we overcame. Um, like Gina said, it's an anthology, but every woman's story is amazing
Yeah.
about how we overcame, some painful things in our lives, right? To, do some amazing things. And then my second book is Boss Built 2, and that's also an anthology, but it's just two of us, and we just write about our professional journeys from you know, starting out in our careers to becoming entrepreneurs and whatever. But I just felt that it was important for us to share that information because I think that's an important part of our tables looking different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because if anyone would have told me 5 years ago, like I was just saying to someone, if anyone would have told me 5 years ago that I still would, because most businesses don't last, right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And while it hasn't always been easy, probably still not as easy as people think it is. But the fact that I'm still, my LLC is still standing,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And so, to me, that's a testimony because, like you said, Regina, I started that in my 50s,
Mhm.
right? And most people would think, oh, I can't do it, right? But that's another lesson that
Mhm.
that I would say for all three of us as we begin to wrap up is that, like Gina said, right? How you deal with situations that come your way,
Yeah.
your decisions, your choices, the way you move and decide, right? How you're going to live is
Mhm.
going to be very important to the outcome of certain things in your life.
Yes,
Because
it is.
if you ask the three of us, we would say, published authors? No way, right?
Mhm.
We would say co-host on a talk show? No way, right?
Mhm.
There's so many things that I think we probably would be like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
When in all reality, the moment that we decided to make that shift in our mindset and to believe that it was possible, but
Mm.
most of all, like you said, Gina, do the work, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Um, look at us now, and it's only going to get better. So with that, I'm gonna my final words are just gonna be, don't, like Gina would say, don't ever think that it's too late to do something that you want to do. um the decisions and the choices that you make in life are going to be critical to what happens in your life, but
Yes.
that means you have to hold yourself accountable. And for me, it means you need to be intentional, right? But after saying all that, I'll just say to everyone out there, have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving celebration. And don't forget those that are less fortunate than we are. All right. And so if you have the opportunity to give back, because not everybody's going to have a warm place to eat or sleep on Thanksgiving. And there are going to be some people out here who are grieving the loss of a loved one. So just
Definitely.
remember to pick up the phone if you're thinking about somebody, and check on them and just say how you doing. So wishing everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. I would say your tables will always be turning and adjusting. So
Mhm.
just enjoy the ride. Um, be intentional, as Theo says with her word. So and just enjoy where life takes you. As me, I enjoy life where God takes me because God is first. So wherever He takes me, I enjoy the ride. And that came with a lot of work because first I didn't enjoy it, but now I'm learning to enjoy it, even if it's uncomfortable. I find
Mhm.
joy out of it some type of way,
Yeah.
um, because it's meant for me. It's no longer any regrets, only progress. That's it. And give people grace because
Mm.
we our times right now. The country, the temperature is just so not right, and just give someone a smile. I just try to
Mm.
smile because it's just so crazy right now. So,
I love the no regrets
mhm.
progress.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
So one of the things that I like to say all the time when I'm doing my stuff from Virginia's Baking Academy is be patient with yourself,
Hmm.
because we're continually learning. Be patient with each other, like Virginia said. Um, you don't know what people are going through, so you may be on that other side where you need someone to extend you grace. So, you know, be patient with other people. We're all going through different experiences, and we may be smiling, but you don't know what we're handling on the inside. So let's do that for each other, and be patient with your journey, because it's in our journey that we are learning some of our greatest lessons. So even things that may not appear to be great experiences at the moment. If you just keep pushing and moving that one step in front of the other, you're going to see the strength in you. So
Mm.
I hope
Mm,
that as your tables begin to look different or as they shifted, that you see the beauty and the strength in you, and you see the things that you had to shift and move, and how it all comes together. So
mm.
happy Thanksgiving and happy family gatherings.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're a little over. We hope you guys don't mind, but it was a important and rich conversation. And so have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll see you here again Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please like, share, and come back next Monday to the Woman to Woman show on the New You Nation Network. Have a great night, everyone,
Thank
and
you.
be safe.
Happy holidays. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And Nikki, thanks for joining. Was that Nikki? I think it was Nikki.
Yes, yep, I was
Thank you,
Nikki. Thanks
Nikki,
for
for
joining.
joining.